Brought to you by...
There are few things more terrifying than becoming trapped or isolated in a situation that is out of your control. What becomes worse is when you find yourselves in these situations as a result of your own poor choices. It calls into question every choice that you've ever made, implants fear and doubt into the image you have of yourself, and creates a tension between you and those that you have been trapped with, threatening to tear each of you apart at your seams. Hello friends, and Merry Christmas to you all. Welcome to another holiday season here on Embrace the Film. For this year's festivities, we have another round of Christmas-themed and cold weather frights in store. We begin with a trio of friends who have become stranded on a chairlift high above the ground after a ski resort closes for the night, with a winter storm rapidly approaching that threatens to leave them frozen. If you hadn't heard about this one around the time of its 2010 release, it's likely that you may have never come across it. Given the ungodly success of the Disney film with the same title, you literally can't just Google this one on its namesake alone. However, I promise, this is not another snow romp with Elsa, Olaf, and Anna. I fucking hate that I know so much about that film. This one comes from Adam Green. Yes, that Adam Green, the guy behind the Hatchet films. He introduces us straight away to our characters through an act that immediately makes them pretty unlikable dirtbags. They utilize their friends' feminine wiles to charm their way into a lift ride that will inevitably seal their fates. Personally, I don't hate the decision to make these characters a bit unlikable at first, because it winds up engaging you even more once you start to care about them throughout this ordeal. The concept behind this film is a nightmare in and of itself, seizing the audience in a situation that anyone who has ever been on a ski lift has feared at one point or another. Or at least I would assume. You would definitely never catch my plushy ass over 300 feet in the air on one of these fucking things. The idea of trapping 3 kids suspended hundreds of feet in the air is a genius ploy. It allows for the actors and filmmakers to explore the horrors of this situation, elevating the tensions that already exist between the characters to extreme levels, all while they are forced to work together in their attempts at survival. There was some very obvious advertisement money thrown in the audience's face here, in the form of a gigantic billboard for Newbury Comics that our characters just so happen to be posted in front of. Our core cast of Shawn Ashmore, Kevin Zager, and Emma Bell get to throw their acting chops around a bit here. They make use of some witty back-and-forth banter, which we have come to expect from an Adam Green film. Green also managed to scatter references and cameos throughout the narrative, with the mountain being named Mount Holliston after his popular TV series, as well as brief cameos for himself and fellow regular crew members, and of course, one for Kane Hodder. I will say that they did a great job in setting the wheels in motion, slowly placing each element in play that leads to the kids getting stuck. At first, you may not think that much about a horror story that centers around 3 kids trapped on a ski lift. The true antagonist of the film, for me, was the tension between the characters. The way it builds throughout the narrative, gradually rising and exploring the human psyche when placed into a situation that threatens their lives, with no hope of escape, is truly relatable to just about anyone. We all wonder what we would do in situations like these, and this is one idea of how it could play out. This is one of those films like the first Saw, where it traps a limited number of characters, forcing them to face a situation that is out of their control, who have to try and survive together against all odds. We get to witness their fear, panic, and building dread firsthand. We watch as hope fades and their willingness to take extreme chances begins to escalate. As much as this isn't the typical horror that we fans normally explore, it's a film that is far more grounded than most, which makes it in some ways even more terrifying. One of the things that I don't quite understand is why the character who decides to jump unhooks his snowboard first. I feel like maybe he might have had a better chance at survival if he had just tried to fall right into a shred. I'm no expert by any means. Maybe that would have made things worse for him. What the fuck do I know? I don't know physics and shit. But I do know that the panic these characters display throughout this story is to an extreme degree. It reaches a realism as these characters are dragged through the ringer. They make irrational and extreme decisions that would definitely at least cross your mind in this situation. The atmosphere that this one creates makes you really feel the frigid temperatures that these characters are experiencing. It presents you with situation after situation where we are forced to face new levels of nightmares that we hope we never find ourselves in. I'll tell you right now, if I looked up and saw a wolf staring into my eyes with snarling teeth from about a foot away, I would fucking shit my little pants faster than a caffeinated jackrabbit on laxatives. What I think this film did best was that in the end, there was this sense that after experiencing this ordeal, seeing the love of her life and his best friend lose their lives, that even though she makes it out with her life, a part of her will remain in this state of shock, utterly frozen in the grasp of her trauma. I'm giving Frozen an A. If realistic horror is your thing, then I would definitely check this one out when you have a chance. There are a few films, especially at the time that this was released, that were attempting to explore this type of fear in a realistic fashion. I definitely think this one hits the mark. Hey friends, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you want to show your support for what we do here, please consider supporting ETF on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can help this channel grow in exchange for some fun little rewards. But that's all for now. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching.